Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got my pickups video here from the Waterloo video game swap. I unfortunately did not get any footage of the actual swap, which is totally my fault. I really dropped the ball on that. I did have moments at times where I probably could have taken some footage, and I guess it just completely slipped my mind. When I got a moment, I was kind of running around trying to find games on the floor if there was anything left kind of idea. Josh from formerly Game Hunters RS, which is on Creeplead right now, actually talked about this a little bit in his video and mentioned that they sort of implemented a new policy whereby vendors could not really go around before the show and buy up stuff and whatnot. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, like, yeah, that makes it very difficult for me to get any deals there, but as a vendor, my main purpose and job, you know, as being a vendor there is to make sure that, you know, the people are getting deals kind of thing that are coming in. So I totally appreciate that rule. It basically prevents like stores, people looking for mass quantities of stock, or other vendors going around snapping up like all the deals kind of thing and then repricing them, putting them on their tables. And I completely agree with that. I think that's, you know, a good policy to have in place. Unfortunately, it prevented me from getting a game I really wanted to get my hands on for a decent price, and by the time I actually got a person to run over and take a look for me during the swap, they were long gone. They actually had 2 copies of this game. It was Kirby's Adventure. Not like a super difficult game to find necessarily, but they had it for a really decent price. And I kind of missed out on that. I saw it at the start of the show, but I couldn't buy it at the time. Kind of a bummer, but that's the way it works out. And like I said, my job there is to be, you know, a good vendor, not a person trying to undercut other people or whatever at the same time. So that being said, that's sort of the bummer part of the situation, because it was when I was really after, but I had a wonderful day there, and I really wanted to thank Pete and Andrew for putting on just an amazing show. Just absolutely phenomenal. Great times for sure. I was a lot busier at the previous show in March. I don't know if it's that time of season or something like that, but still a really wonderful day. Well worth going out there, having a table, and all the people that I ran into. And I'm not going to completely start name dropping everybody I ran into, just because there's so many people and I don't want to miss anyone. But if I did any trades or anything like that, obviously I'm going to mention those people. I'm going to put links down below for them as well. There is one channel that I do want to mention, just because I recently subscribed to them, and I think it's just absolutely phenomenal. Their presentation is amazing, and they do have Waterloo video game swap videos up, so I'm going to put links down below for that. And that is, and I'm trying to remember the name off the top of my head, but it's Power Play Gaming. I think that's right. If not, I will correct that. But really awesome YouTube channel. You gotta check it out. It's a guy and girl team, and absolutely hilarious in their presentation. So I really appreciate their work, and he did a lot of interviewing kind of stuff, or not interviewing, but he did a lot of like footage and just sort of like an interview style. So very top quality sort of production value, I think, for a YouTube channel. You know, not just like me with this phone kind of idea, but rather pretty high-end kind of looking thing. So go check that out. I'm gonna put links down below, not only to their video, but also you know, a link to their channel and whatnot. So that's that there. I'm gonna move on actually into my pickups here. So just a little bit of a backstory. Josh from Creeplead and Bowersfartsack from Bowersfartsack, we sort of went together again. It's usually what we do. We kind of group up tables and sort of get like a discount on multiple tables kind of thing. So it works out really nicely that way, save a few bucks getting a table, but at the same time we also get our tables all together, which is really the primary goal of doing that, just because, you know, we're people that know each other from quite a while now, actually, based on the YouTube kind of stuff that we're doing. So really cool. Went down there, met up with those guys, got our tables all set up, and then Josh from Creeplead actually gave me contest winnings that I had won when on Game Hunters RS, which was his former channel. Him and Ben had a contest in which it was a live stream, and during that live stream, you know, people that were watching the live stream and participating in it ended up getting you know, prizes kind of thing. You could get one whenever they do a draw. So I won one of those draws, which is really cool. The best part about this, not necessarily the titles, because I'm not totally interested in, you know, expanding that much on my 360 collection, but that's not the point of this. The really great point to this is that, you know, they signed these. So I'll show you that here. One of them is Pocket Bike Racer, which I didn't think I had in my collection. Of course, I'm never going to open this just because Josh and Ben have actually signed that. And then Blades of Time, again, they signed these. So that was cool. I mean, that contest was so long ago, I can't remember how many subs it was for that old channel. But now Josh has migrated. They've sort of shut down that channel. Josh migrated to a new channel, which is Creeply. So I'll put links down below for that due to this. Now, also continuing along that front, Josh and I did a couple other deals as well. And we did a trade earlier on, and this was one of the games that I really wanted to get back into my collection. This is an amazing title. If you do not have this in your Xbox collection, you definitely need to check it out, just because the graphics, I think, are sort of top-notch for it. I think this game kind of came out, if memory serves me correctly, sort of near the end of the Xbox's life cycle. It might have been, you know, like a year and a half before the end of it, but I think at that point they sort of really started perfecting as best they could, pushing the hardware kind of thing, and this game definitely did it. And it's black for the, you know, original Xbox, as I just mentioned, but we did a trade deal for that, so I got this back in my collection. It's something I've been on the lookout for. I do have this on the PS2, but I really wanted to get on the original Xbox. That's where I originally played it. I'm not an FPS shooter kind of guy, although some of the games I'm going to show you today seem like I'm breaking that rule, but it's not like one of my favorite genres kind of thing. I like puzzle platforming, I like things like that, or role-playing games, things like that, but this one here really captured my attention back in the day, and I really wanted to get it into my collection, so happy to pick up a copy of that. The next one here is something that was kind of funny. He was just holding this up in the air for some reason, don't recall why, and I said, hey, I need that game for my collection, so we worked out a deal on it. It's Painkiller Hell Wars, which again is another game that I had played back in the day. I think I played just the demo of this, but I sort of played it like over and over and over again because I really enjoyed it and never really got into the game necessarily, but a really awesome game, sort of zombie kind of style idea, demon zombie sort of thing, so it sort of appeals to me in that regard as well. And I really enjoyed this game, at least the demo of it that I played, so I really wanted to get a copy of that as well, and I did have it in the collection already. And then, speaking of the same people at the similar tables, I had done a trade with Bowersfartsack a while back for a game on the PS3 that he really wanted. He saw it in one of my pickup videos. I didn't have it in my collection already, more than I did. So, and I already had the Xbox 360 version of it. He really wanted the PS3 version of it. So I did trade with him for that, and in return, I got this here, which is Kung Fu Kid for the Sega Master System. I'm always willing to pick up Sega Master System games, if I don't have them already, obviously, because they're really difficult to find. I do not see these out in the wild. So awesome, awesome, awesome find right there from him. And I checked out gameplay of this. I really didn't know a whole lot about this. Like, despite the fact that I like to pick up Master System games, I did not have a Master System back in the day. A buddy of mine did, and I only saw like maybe 2 or 3 games back in the day, so everything I learned about the Master System is basically from research. So when I got home, I checked out some gameplay of this, and luckily it has some favorable reviews, and people that were playing it seemed to enjoy it. So I'm glad that I picked this up, and a nice addition to the Master System collection. Next thing coming up is a trade that I did, and I cannot recall for the life of me what I traded for this, but this was from another YouTuber, which is Tim McKay, and I'll put links down below. And he also has a Waterloo video game swap video up from when he was there and the stuff that he picked up already, so I will link to that video as well. In that video, he actually mentions the things that I traded to him, and for some reason I just can't keep it straight because I'm trying to sort of keep this all straight in my head of who I did dealings with for this, so you'll have to bear with me on that. But this is what we traded for, and this is what I got out of the trade, and he actually mentions what I got in the trade in his video. So anyways, I'll move on from there. This is one I already have in my collection. It's Mario Luigi Superstar Saga for the GBA, so pretty cool right there. My guess is he was saying in his video that he was just trying to unload these, he was never going to play them, so that's pretty cool for me, because on the Restaurant 5 I will probably give some of these a shot. The next one here is Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue, which is really cool because I had the white version of this, so now I have the blue version. I don't know if there's other versions because I'm not totally familiar with this series completely, but still cool nonetheless. And then finally, the last one here is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which really happy to add this into the collection. Kind of pleased that he had this on him. Another amazing game, actually. One of the nice games on the GBA. Not like overly expensive or anything, but looks really good, top quality kind of thing. The next thing I wanted to show you here is a trade that I did. Somebody came by my table, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who they are. I hope you're not a fellow YouTuber or something like that. I know you probably watch YouTube videos, but I don't think they're a YouTuber, like have a channel or anything like that. If they do, please comment down below, let me know. But they wanted something at my table, which was a copy of Frogger for the PlayStation 1, which I love that game. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing game. But I was more than happy to trade away because I already have it in my collection. And I had multiple copies of it in the past. So I think that was my last copy of it that I actually have for a trade or whatever. Really fun puzzle game though. This one here is what I got in return. It's Crash Team Racing. I'm really hoping that it works though. Greatest Hits Edition. I'm really hoping that it works because it looks like it was resurfaced by someone who has no clue how to use a resurfacing machine. So I might have to test that out, make sure that it works. But this is something that I already have in my collection, so I'll just clean that up and it'll likely go to the next swap that I go to and go on my table for sale kind of thing. But pretty cool. I think that was a pretty decent trade. I think probably in the end of that I made out sort of better on the deal sort of idea. Moving on, this was probably the most interesting and like mind-blowing thing that happened. A person came over to my table and said, "Hey, there's a game on your wish list," which in previous videos I posted a wish list of mine with just how maybe 20 games on it kind of thing. It's not like a extensive list. It's sort of, if I see something or I remember something, I'll just chuck it on there if I'm sitting at the computer. It's not by any stretch of the imagination the only stuff that I'm looking for. It's just stuff that I see and I kind of put it on that list. And for some reason, and I don't know how he does this, he must have a magical brain or something like that. He remembered one of these items that was on my wish list, and he just said, they have this game on your wish list over at this table over here, if you're looking for it. And I said, sure, that's fine. They said, well, they have $10 on it. So went over, bought the game, brought it to my table, and I gave him $10 for it. So I basically paid what he paid for it. So no delivery fee or anything like that. Really appreciated. His name, by the way, as far as YouTube goes, is DG13. He does have a channel. On that channel, he shows a variety of different things on there, a lot of RC car type of stuff. I'm interested in radio controlled cars. I do have a small collection of those kind of things, but my primary focus here is video games, obviously. But you can go check it out if you're interested in that kind of stuff, but I'll put links down below to his channel as well. I think there might be a few gaming things on there as well. But this is the game that he brought over to my table, but it just blew my mind that, and I can't get over it still, that he remembered something from my wish list, because I don't even remember what's on my wish list half the time. He remembers what's on the wish list and actually found the game at the swap and brought it over to me and delivered it kind of thing, which is really wicked. And it's Dark Watch for the Xbox. Like I was saying before, first-person shooters aren't really my thing, but I've already shown you 3 that I picked up at the swap. But again, this is another game that I think is just phenomenal. Again, undead kind of shooter sort of thing, so just sort of wanted to expand that element of my collection. Did not have this on the original Xbox. It's something that I've never seen out in the wild, so I'm really happy to be able to pick that one up. Capcom title, so go check this one out as well. Get some gameplay footage or something and check this one out because it's pretty cool. And these ones as well. So if you're into first-person shooters, there isn't just that small sort of window of first-person shooters that exists nowadays. There's a lot of stuff on the original Xbox you should be checking out. So the last thing I wanted to show you here is a game that I've been searching for a very long time, and I got it from the Retro Game Bros. And these two fine gentlemen are actually opening up a store, which is why I'm holding up this advertisement right here. This is something that they gave me as a reminder to come and check out their store, and I'm really happy. Plug them, I guess, if this is what you'd like to call it, on my channel. A couple of really amazing guys. They go all over the place finding different games, and they sell them at the swaps, and I think they're now stepping up their game, opening up a store, and if their prices at the store are anything like the ones they have at the swap, then you're getting the real deal. I know a lot of stores I check out locally, their prices are well beyond eBay prices, which I'm never willing to do. So, you know, and I know that storefronts need to keep their doors open and they have all that and that whole argument and whatnot, but these guys always keep it fairly honest, and I think their prices, if their store prices are anything like their swap prices, then you're in for a treat if you go check it out. So I'll hold the sign up a little bit closer. It's not really a sign, it's more like an ad, but I'll hold that up a little bit closer. You can get all the details off there. It tells you exactly where their address is. They're on Kennedy Road in Toronto. You can see the www.retrogamebros.com. Go check it out. Definitely worth it. And they're gonna, like it says here, they're gonna have tournaments and contests as well. So just moving on to the community aspect and continuing that. I love talking to these guys when I go to the show. They're, you know, just a couple of really amazing guys. So nice to be able to speak to them. They know their stuff when it comes to the games as well. And they hooked me up with this game here. I didn't actually pay for this one. This is something that came over and just kind of took a couple games from my table that were of equal value and straight up, you know, trade. And I was more than happy to do that to get this for my collection. This is something I've been on the lookout for a while. People are looking for, and I even saw it at the swap. Although this one's not in the world's perfect shape, I saw, you know, decent shaped copies of this game. People wanting like 40 bucks. Don't totally understand it because you can definitely get it cheaper than that on eBay. I got it for about the same as what it might go for on eBay, which is perfectly fine by me, especially when I can support these awesome guys. So the trade though worked out nicely for me because I was able to get rid of some stuff from my table to get something I wanted, which is Ninja Gaiden for the original NES. I have 2 and 3, did not have the original one, which is kind of interesting because I think it's probably the most common of the 3, but did not have this one for my collection. Now I do. Really happy to add this one in. This is an NES hard game though, and you guys should all know that, but I had it when I was a kid and I couldn't barely get anywhere with it, and I'm sure as an adult I'm probably even worse at this game, but still really awesome right there to get that. And thank you again so much for the trade. I'm more than willing to do that. I'm really happy when people want to do trades at the swap. I'd rather not spend the cash. I'd rather you know, use that for finding stuff in the thrift shops. So it's really nice to be able to trade away a few things to get things that I'm looking for my collection. So I know it's a little bit long-winded, sorry about that, but I ran into tons of people. I don't want to get into like I said, name dropping or anything like that. There's just too many people that did it. But your best bet, if you want to find out who is at the Waterloo Video Game Swap and has a channel on YouTube, it's very simple. Just go into that search function, put in Waterloo Video Game Swap, click on, you know, this week or today kind of thing, and you will see a ton of videos you know, from that so far. I think there's probably about 5 or 6 guys that have already put up a few videos here or so, and I'm sure there's more to come, so that's really your best way of seeing those. I just want to do one thank you though to J-Rock the Game Rocker. He's just awesome at the show, came by, he put out a video, absolutely phenomenal kind of thing. Just what a great guy, like just so enthusiastic and just happy to be there kind of thing, and I was happy to see him, that's for sure. It's always a pleasure to run into him at these shows and everything like that. So I'll put a link also to his channel as well. I'm sure you guys, if you're subscribed to me, probably already subscribed to him. He has sort of his weekly vlog or whatever you'd like to call it. Every Monday it comes out, so you know, go check it out. I'll put links, like I said, down below to that. And that was sort of my experience at the Waterloo Video Game Swap. Absolutely enjoyed it. If you ever get the chance to go there, it's pretty much every 6 months. So the next one, I don't know, the date has not been announced for it, but it usually lies somewhere in April or March or April. Somewhere in there. It's like the 6-month span between each one, and every single time it's absolutely phenomenal. So I will definitely see you guys at the next show, barring any like major catastrophe sort of idea. And that's everything I got to say about that. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.